Hello, everybody. This is Greg Stewart from the Greg Stewart Show. Today, I'm changing the format of the work that I do, and I'm changing in reference to giving you more illustrations in reference to how I work with someone who comes to see me, how I break things out using a form of what I call life coaching in reference to NLP, neuro linguistic programming. And I utilize this in my own private practice that I collaborate and connect with a neurologist here and where I live in Florida. And I want to bring some of those concepts there to you. So most of these things will be from patients that when they first connected with me, they will not be disclosed here. So the names have been changed, but it's going to break down that when they do give me their medical history form or when they do share an email before they do a consultation, gives me an idea to gauge how this person sees the world. So there was that cartoon a while back called Inside Out, which broke down your emotions in reference to red, seeing anger or passion, green, seeing comfort, and yellow, seeing proceed with caution. So we're going to do that here, breaking down. And so you're going to see my eyes go from the screen to what I'm reading so I can give you an idea of this person, what they've written me. Let's start there. So this woman, we're going to call her Mischa. She writes me, "Hi, Greg. I'm reaching out because I hit a wall. And for the first time in my life, I don't know how to regain control. For 12 years, I was trapped in a completely dead, soul-crushing marriage. He wasn't abusive or cruel. He was just invisible. We have two special need children, or I should say teenagers now, who require constant care. And my ex-husband was essentially a third child. He was passive, unhelpful, and completely present-free. I felt entirely alone in my own home." So, this is the beginning of her email, how I first start to see this. And I recommend this to people that are dealing with areas in their life or someone. You can get them, or even yourself, when you're feeling a certain way, to write down after you learn some of these tools. You could see how you also see the world. So we use something called sensory acuity, visual, how people respond visually, auditory, and kinesthetic. So she wrote me, "I'm reaching out because I've hit a wall. And for the first time in my life, I don't know how to regain control." Now, just on that first opening sentence, she writes me, "I'm reaching out. I've hit a wall." I'm getting two visual predicates of how this person is relating their world. And then something else. I don't know how to regain control. When I hear the word control, and we'll see, is there more forms of control? We obviously know that she is not feeling control. Does this mean that this person utilizes her world to do things that give her control? Does she always have to have control? Well, let's move on. She then gives me what we call a resume statement. So this helps us to either root for her, or it's also how she deals with guilt if she knows or he knows if they're doing something wrong, so they can justify their emotions. For 12 years, I was trapped in a completely dead. So dead means that I wasn't living a life. I wasn't significant. Human need. Number 3, I was completely dead in a soul-crushing marriage. Resume statement. He wasn't abusive or cruel. He was just invisible. So this is where, again, the resume statement is part of her guilt. You want to know he's not a bad guy. Then she changes the pattern to, we have two special needs teenagers who require constant care. So she emphasizes that also as part of the resume. And my ex-husband, you can see this pattern now, was essentially a third child. So now she attacks him again after the guilt-free. He's not a bad person. Okay? He's passive and unhelpful and completely present-free. She's justifying what she's about to tell you she had to do or needs to do because she felt entirely alone in her own home. So these three are also anchors, or what you might know as your own trigger points or targets. So she started seeking life elsewhere. Okay, so there it was. There's the opening to let you know why I'm doing what I'm doing, the resume statement. I started having affairs. When my close friends found out They were terrified for me. Now she met human need number three, significance. They would ask, aren't you afraid of getting caught? Which also shows that they care. More significance. Aren't you worried your whole life will implode? She would just laugh. She had a system. She told them straight up, I never keep them around long enough to become a problem. My friends were shocked, still showing emotion and care. Now, I'm putting that in there. That didn't say still showing emotion and care. I'm just emphasizing what she's getting. I'll start it with a need for the future. At one point, they asked, wait, you cut them off because she said the word they. Is there more than one? I admit it, right now there are only two, but my peak was at three at one time, or say at the same time I did this for several months. Honestly, my friends knew who I was, and they get a kick out of how calculated I was about it. So here, she's building it up. She's telling you this because it makes her feel significant. Her friends are giving her attention for her behaviors. So she then emphasizes this as a form of leverage, she said. I use this to keep control. So now we do know by keeping men at a distance, okay, she is able to keep them at a distance so she can constantly be in control. So eventually, she divorced her husband, she wrote me. I'm pretty sure he knew about the cheating, and the sad part is, he would have stayed anyway because he loved me that much. But I couldn't stand the sight of his passive ways anymore, and I needed to cut the anchor. So she even emphasizes it as an anchor, and the submodalities are his passive ways, the way he responds, the way he's not there. These are all modalities. Think of a cold. You get a sore throat, you get itchy eyes. Those are submodalities to give the anchor that you have a cold. So that's exactly what's happening here. So she says, after the divorce, I usually hung out locally, bars, this, that, or what, but people got to know me, so this dried up. And I've been everywhere around my area, she writes. That's when I found and dedicated myself to this online board that emphasized on dating married or men looking to cheat or women looking to cheat. I thought this was perfect. Please don't judge me. So she's concerned about judgment. I operated like a machine. So why do we call ourselves from a person asking not for judgment? I operated like a machine to disassociate that this is not me, this is a behavior. And because she knew, again, resume statement, because of guilt, don't judge me. I'm with married or cheating men. I'm a machine, and I go with married men, and they're married, and they know what they're doing too. This gives me control, she writes, it's here, of my own narrative, not them, but you are saying them, and it is you. So a lot of control things you're hearing. I set the emotional boundary, and I never let anyone get close enough to pull the rug from under me. All of this emphasizes control, 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 control. So then I met him, and he completely shattered my system because I met a man that I never thought my rules inside would change. So now, changed. Our whole world of control has now been broken because she has something. Not love, at least not that we know of, but fear. Fear because I have felt something. Maybe the intimacy was different than I've had with anyone before. Because is it love? Well, let's find out. Because she met this man. He's married, successful, dominant, financially elite, and projects real authority. So everything that she had with her husband is the complete opposite of what she was basically used to. And she felt an attraction to this. It gave her the feeling of, I can have security. But this person, who she's seen and gave him the title as a real man, well, from the start, he laid down his boundaries. This is strictly physical, nothing more, ever. Now, he told her, I have a relationship that I have a person who is just as secure, if not more so, than me. And it's a family that can keep me comfortable even beyond my comfort. In fact, they do. So if you think that anything else is going to happen, think again. If you cannot go with what you agreed upon in the website of looking for someone who wants to cheat, well, then I'm not for you if you want something else. She said, no, I smiled and agreed. I said it was fine, she said, but it was a lie because I have fallen hopelessly devoted to this man. So now I want to emphasize what we call meta programs. And meta programs, think of things that you structure in your life. You have a way of future pacing of how you want that to see, how do you want that to work out. But emotional things got in the way. But she would still justify herself in reference to giving herself metaphor to build her own identity up. I need to cut the anchor. She saw her husband, or her ex-husband in this case, purely as dead weight, keeping her trapped. So that was the story she would tell herself, the metaphor, where some people say, I want to be like this, and I can picture myself like that, and I can make everything. Well, she did it to justify her emotions. And she had the structure, her meta program, and it changed when all of a sudden she realized that all of the guy that I want, that was everything that's actually in existence, and I'd never seen it till then. Well, now he's in my life, but strictly as an intimate role. But here's the thing, and thinking from her emotional standpoint, maybe the guy will have feelings, but he's thinking logically in reference to, I'm not going to break away from this. I hate to use the term, hit it and quit it. I'm not going to get close enough. We're not going to have romantic dinners. We're not going to do things. This was his meta program. I'm going to stay in structure because I've done this before and it keeps me safe. But she's thinking, well, I'm in control. I'm the master manipulator. I'm going to use honeypot. What is honeypot? I'm going to get you to where you're most vulnerable in intimacy. I'm going to make you feel so good, so relieved, and so released that you're not going to want anyone else. And when you finally are decompressing from your way at work and with your significant other, you're going to wish you were here. You're going to wish that I would cater to you. And I'm going to get to know you. I'm going to find out what you like. Sushi, this, that. I'm going to have it laid out. Beer, a quick cocktail. I'm going to give you everything that you're not getting because that's why you're here in the first place. And so she meets him. He's married. He's successful. He's a dominant person, financially elite. And he's a real man, she says. So what is she doing? She's giving all the details to pump her up. Think of going into something and getting pumped up for it, getting yourself excited. She's doing this, but she knows she's nothing more. Look at what happened, she says. My entire system was built on rules. And now here's this man breaking my rules. But I have a way. And I'm going to get that way. I'm going to win. So once you see this as a transaction, I'm going to win. I'm going to get you over. You're going to be mine. Well, let's find out to see how that plays out for her. I'm going to read on. Now, she does admit that she's fallen hopelessly in love with this person. Terrifyingly in love is the word that she uses. And for the first time in my life, the woman who ruled every room and controlled every man is completely on her knees. So again, think of the sensory acuity, the visual she's given you. I'm on my knees, but she's also emphasizing her personal power. I've controlled every room. I am now playing whatever role that he wants me to play. I'm bending over backwards. I'm doing whatever it takes just to keep him from walking away. So she might not even realize, because she's in unfamiliar territory, maybe she's not even in love. Maybe she is. But with rejection comes obsession. And she's used to such power, such control. And here comes someone that says, you can't have what you want. And this frightens her. As she finishes her email, she emphasized, I've lost my grip. I'm terrified. And I don't know how to stop sacrificing myself for a guy who treats me like a secret option. How do I fix this? So you come to someone, because if you go to a psychologist, Is he going to say this is against moral value? And in a sense, that's the key thing here. You have to give them the solution. We have to look at the reality. You have to look at how someone would make a shift if they love you or not love you. Are you willing to be Mrs. Right or Mrs. Right now? And that's what Mischa is looking. But you could see in the reference to things, I've lost my grip. Again, another visualization. I'm terrified, feeling emotion. I don't know how to stop sacrificing myself for a guy who treats me like a secret option. So she knows that he's distancing himself because you're not a person. You are a secret option. How do I fix this? Well, as I would emphasize, is probably maybe even some like you, though I don't know. One of the key things is, see, you just emphasized that this person, I've given him the world and I've acted on anything, and now they're distancing themselves, from me, and they still, what happens if you completely cut the cord? Well, he might move on to someone else. The key thing is to find out within yourself how you value you, how you value yourself in your relationships. Is this something that you would want for your sons? Is this something, why would you want this for you? Why would you make this okay for you? Even though you have this persona of being, I'm always in control and power, that's a sign of fear. False experiences appearing real in my head that if I control them, they can't come back and hurt me or bite me. That's exactly what's happening here. You think you want something, but you're basing it on a relationship, on intimacy, and nothing concrete. And so you want to see, what if he does give in? Does he fall into the category of another guy that I've collected and thrown to the side because that's my MO and this was just different because I can't have this and now I want it? Or is there a security factor? Do you really want love? Do you really want connection? So that's what I got for today. But put in your in the comments there. I'd like to hear what you think in reference to Mischa in this situation. Now, we did go further in reference to our talks, but I want you to be the armchair life coach, if you will, to put in those comments. Also, please like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, I'll see you on the Greg Stewart Show, Inside and Out, where we utilize the color formations of life to figure out, are you in the red at a traffic light, a yellow, proceeding with caution, or green? Until next time, have a great day or evening wherever you are. Oh, and also write those emails. If you have a story that is similar to Mischa's or anyone's and you're struggling with it, let's break it down in reference to how you're seeing the world. Email me. I'll answer any questions that you have. Thanks again.